hip hop is everything to me. Is the song is the genre that I relate to the most. Like, for example, right? Like, what the things that they say in hip hop was made to talk about our struggles, to talk about our pain, to talk about things that happens in the Bronx. Hip hop was created in the Bronx, by the way. My life, my culture, the Bronx, where I'm from. So it just means everything to me. And I, of course, without hip hop, I wouldn't be here. So yes, thank you very much, hip hop.
Mentioned, right, in Jersey, but you grew up in the Bronx. How do you make sure they don't grow up spoiled? Because that's what I be trying to focus on.
They spoil. I ain't gonna lie.
And it's not even that they spoil. They don't know nothing else.
Yeah. They don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
But they do, as you know what I noticed? As long as they with their cousin, they don't care where they at. Because when they be in my grandma's house, or like when they was in the yard, in the country, they I kept calling like, are you guys okay? They was, as long as they with their cousin, kids are okay. They just gotta be with their cousins. That's the trick. They gotta be with their cousins. They're gonna have a good time anywhere. As long as their cousins is around, their friends around.
You got a new man. Are the sparks sparking?
Sparkling, honey. 4th of July.
How did you guys meet? Did you reach out to him?
No, you're not supposed to reach out to a man. It was like mutual friends. I thought he was cute. I was like, oh, you gotta be mine.
Are you a football fan now?
Yeah, I'm a football fan, honey. I be in the screen on Sunday every day cursing people out. Pass the ball!
So have you gotten to go and watch him?
Not yet, because I've been preparing for my album. After this whole album thing, I'm going to every single game. Every single one of them.
We all know you went through a very messy divorce with Offset. Were you worried about dating again?
I mean, you know, everybody kept telling me, like, I should have fun. And we had a little bit of too much fun, and now I'm here. One thing about, like, dating, you date, you feel like you're, like, 16 again.
Well, you want to feel like you're 16.
You do, but then it's like, you also remember what you dealt with when you were 16. So it's like restarting again. Like, one time he just told me, like, let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you. And it's like, okay, I haven't even been 3 weeks.
You haven't been 3 weeks? Why?
No, because is in Boston and I'm here working.
Pregnancy makes you probably want to more, right?
Yeah, but this is crunch time. In Boston, you're a Patriot.
He's playing.
Hell yeah, we're not playing. Now he's really locked in. Like, he's in his season right now.
How are you dealing with it?
We just talk to each other every day, and it's like he just came out of a ACL injury. He got something to prove.
You're gonna be at the games.
I'm gonna go to a couple of games, but like I get too anxious. I might be like, I might get bad.
All right.
Was it tough for you to date again?
It's definitely tough dating in your 30s. I never really been a dating person. I've always been in long relationships since I was like 21.
With Stefan, how has he inspired you?
I will never complain about my job because he has to do 2 different things. Not only do you have to study, you also have to get physical. And you have to be in bed at a certain time. You're literally in the military. I work hard, but you like really work hard. I don't really have a sleep schedule. I don't even like to map out my day.
And let me talk to you guys about what went down yesterday on X. So culture. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj were at it again. Nicki Minaj got on X and she began tweeting. She tweeted, "Dear Culture Vulture, your mom is pregnant with another monkey to add to her litter. The gag is that she was jealous of a little baby boy simply because his hair was longer than all 4 of you bald monkeys put together." So Cardi responds, "Here you go again, starting nice and early, you sick, pathetic loser. Demonic B-word. I said back in 2018, and nobody believed me, that you've been talking about my child since I was pregnant."
What started as a harmless dad and daughter bonding moment somehow exploded into one of the most uncomfortable celebrity controversies of the season. And no, it wasn't about music, fashion, or even real drama. It involved a football game, an Instagram live rant, and a 4-year-old child who never asked to be famous in the first place. Because when Cardi B lost her cool after a Patriots win, the internet wasn't ready for who she aimed her anger at. And once the clip hit social media, the situation spiraled faster than anyone could control. But the most shocking part isn't just what was said, it's how quickly something sweet turned toxic, and what that says about internet culture right now. And once you hear how this all unfolded, you might look at viral fame very differently. It all started with something that felt refreshingly normal. A dad filming videos with his young daughter Reese, letting her pick winners for NFL games. No analysis, no stats, no trash talk, just a preschooler choosing teams based on vibes, colors, and whatever caught her attention that day. At first, the videos barely registered. They were cute, innocent. The kind of content you scroll past, smile at, and forget about 5 seconds later. Then something strange happened. Reese started getting her picks right. Again and again and again. 6 correct predictions in a row. Suddenly people weren't just watching for fun anymore. They were paying attention. Comment sections filled up, views jumped, and the internet did what it always does when something unexpected works. It leaned in hard. But nobody stopped to ask the most important question. Should this even be taken seriously? And that's where things quietly started going wrong. Once Reese's streak caught traction, the tone shifted. What had been a lighthearted family moment slowly turned into something else entirely. People started joking about betting on her picks. Then people started actually betting on her picks. Not officially, of course, but enough chatter, screenshots, and comments made it clear that real money was suddenly involved. And when money enters the picture, patience disappears. Fans weren't watching a kid anymore. They were watching a predictor. And that's a dangerous label to put on someone who still needs help tying their shoes. But the internet doesn't pause for ethics. It just moves forward, fast. And that momentum was about to turn against her. After her early run of correct predictions, Reese's picks stopped hitting. One loss, then another, then another. Before long, she was on an 8-game losing streak. That's when the comments shifted. Supportive laughs turned into frustration, jokes turned sharper. People who had once found the videos adorable suddenly sounded annoyed, even angry, which is wild when you stop and think about it. This wasn't a grown analyst, this wasn't a gambler, this was a 4-year-old picking helmets. But the internet doesn't care how old you are once it decides you're part of the game. And then came the matchup that lit the fuse. The New England Patriots versus the Houston Texans. Reese picked the Patriots to win. The Patriots won. On paper, that should have been the end of the story. Another correct pick, another cute moment, another video people forgot by the next morning, but somewhere else, emotions were already running high. Because while Reese was making her pick, Cardi B was watching the game. And she was much invested. And when the Patriots sealed the win, Cardi B went live on Instagram. That's when things took a sharp left turn. At first, it felt like typical post-game hype. Excitement, trash talk, celebrating a big win. But then Cardi B mentioned the little girl. And before anyone could blink, the tone shifted. In the middle of her emotional rant, Cardi B called the 4-year-old a disrespectful name, clearly caught up in the moment, but saying something that crossed a line almost immediately. Seconds later, she realized it. She apologized, repeated herself, tried to walk it back, but the damage was already done. Because once something like that hits the internet, context disappears, and clips start traveling faster than intentions. And within hours, the conversation had completely flipped. Let's be real. People argue online every day. Celebrities say wild stuff all the time. Rants happen, apologies happen. But this was different. This wasn't aimed at another adult. This wasn't beef. This wasn't competitive trash talk. This was a grown celebrity directing anger toward a preschooler. And for a lot of people, that crossed a hard boundary. Even fans who normally defend Cardi B found themselves saying, yeah, this wasn't it. And the internet did what it always does next. It overreacted. As clips spread, Reese's father started noticing something unsettling. Messages, threats, harassment. Not aimed at Cardi B, aimed at him and his daughter. That's when he made his Instagram page private. And before going silent, he posted a calm but firm response. He reminded people that Reese is 4 years old, that the videos were family-friendly, that no one should be directing profanity, or worse, toward a child over football pics. He even tagged Cardi B without disrespect. No yelling, no insults, just boundaries, which honestly made the situation even more uncomfortable. Because while adults were going back and forth online, arguing, defending, and attacking, the only people acting with any real maturity were the ones focused on protecting a child. And that contrast didn't sit right with a lot of viewers. It felt backwards. The loudest voices belonged to people treating the moment like entertainment, while the quietest voices were the ones trying to slow things down and remind everyone what really mattered. As expected, the internet quickly split into camps. Some people rushed to defend Cardi B, arguing that it was heat of the moment trash talk, something said in excitement that she immediately realized was wrong and apologized for. To them, the apology should have ended the conversation. Celebrities are human. Emotions run high during sports, and mistakes happen. But others weren't buying that explanation. They argued that an apology doesn't automatically erase impact, especially when the target isn't another adult who can brush it off or clap back. This wasn't a peer, this was a child, one who can't even read yet, let alone understand why strangers were suddenly talking about her. For that group, intent mattered less than boundaries, and they felt a line had been crossed regardless of how quickly it was acknowledged. Then there was a third group, quietly asking a much bigger question that made a lot of people uncomfortable. Why was a 4-year-old being placed in a position where millions of strangers felt entitled to react to her at all? Not just watch, not just comment, but emotionally invest, criticize, and even lash out. That's when the conversation started drifting away from Cardi B entirely and towards something deeper. Because this situation exposed something unsettling about online attention. The internet loves cute. It loves wholesome moments, kids doing funny things, and family content that feels harmless. But it loves drama even more. And the moment Reese's Picks started affecting people emotionally, or worse, financially, the innocence disappeared. What was once amusement quietly turned into expectation. People stopped watching for fun and started watching for results. And that pressure never should have existed in the first place. Viral fame doesn't come with instructions. There's no guidebook explaining how strangers will react, what they'll project, or how quickly they'll turn. And kids don't get to consent to that environment. They don't get to opt out once the algorithm decides they're interesting. This wasn't just about one rant or one bad moment on a live stream. It was about how quickly the internet forgets there are real humans behind viral clips, especially small ones. People become content. Content becomes a product. And somewhere along the way, empathy gets lost. There's also another layer here that many people glossed over. Instagram Live doesn't come with a filter. Celebrities are expected to be entertaining, raw, emotional, and authentic, but never messy. And that balance is almost impossible when millions of people are watching in real time. One emotional slip, one poorly chosen word, and the moment lives forever. And once it's out there, control is gone, for everyone involved. Cardi has built her brand on authenticity, on saying exactly what's on her mind. And most of the time, that's why people love her. But moments like this show the downside, because when emotion overrides awareness, the internet doesn't judge intent, it judges impact, and impact is permanent online. Cardi apologized. The dad protected his daughter. The internet moved on to the next controversy. But the lesson lingers. This wasn't just about football, or fandom, or celebrity behavior. It was about how quickly entertainment turns into entitlement, and how easily a child can become collateral damage in the process. At the end of the day, this situation forces an uncomfortable question. When something goes viral, who's responsible for protecting the people caught in it? Because Reese didn't ask to be famous, she didn't ask to influence bets, and she definitely didn't ask to be dragged into adult arguments. Yet for a brief moment, the entire internet treated her like fair game. And that might be the most disturbing part of the story. So the next time something cute starts trending, it's worth asking, are we enjoying it or exploiting it? Because once innocence goes viral, you can't rewind the internet. And what happens next is rarely as harmless as it looks.